Hello. Hello, guys. How's everyone doing? Well, I'm checking that the microphone is loud enough. Want to say hi to Clay. That was in the chat on YouTube way before everyone. Thanks for joining. And I see a few of you guys popping in, popping out on Instagram. All right, we're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna do some spooky stuff, some Spider Queen. Pretty excited. I also want to talk about the pumpkin carving challenge that's coming next week. A lot of exciting stuff happening next week. We're gonna have 3 classes, prizes from Huyons, and we're having a pretty awesome spooky deal for Halloween on the DPA. I'll be giving all of these details real soon. So today, just want to make sure I'm seeing everything. I want to say hi to Kevin on Instagram. Sikadelica. Hi guys, and thanks for joining. So today I did something that I like to do from time to time. I did a paint over. I'll show you guys to this on Instagram. There's this picture here at the top one, this one here, and I did a quick kind of like paint over on top of it to kind of think about an idea of what I could do today. So I don't do just the reference, but I also kind of do something a little bit more conceptual. And I'm going to use that as my reference picture for today to try to do illustration. So it's going to be great. I want to say hi to DJ Hello on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining me live. All right, let me just give all the details of what's happening because I'm going to repeat that because I don't want you guys to miss it. So on Monday, I'll be giving a class, live class about sketching. I'm going to give you kind of the base foundation that you need to know about sketching these days. So that's on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'll do coloring. And then on Wednesday, I'll do rendering. For the people that don't know what the pumpkin carving challenge is, it's a challenge that we're doing every year where we're building a pumpkin together, and you get to submit your pumpkin and get the chance to win a Huion tablet that is sponsoring the event. All you have to do to win is to share your work. That's all you have to do. Okay, you don't have to be the best. You just have to do it. If you're doing AI work and don't paint it, this won't work. And I know AI can be really good, but I'll be looking to look at your sketch. I'll be looking to look at your coloring. Winners that do it with AI won't be part of the challenge. So this gives an opportunity to everybody that wants to do a pumpkin with me. During next week, you have until the 27th to submit it and get a chance to win one of those 6 tablets. If you want all the details, you can go check paintable.cc/digital pumpkin carving. There's probably a link in the chat, in the description, and if there's not, there's definitely one in the bio on Instagram for the people on Instagram, and on YouTube. I think there's something in the description. Let me know if that's not there. I'll try to add it into the chat. Or maybe I can do it now. Give me a second. I'll go fetch the link. And I'll just paste it in the chat. I'm not able to paste it in the chat. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Well, let me know if there's in the description. I'll figure out a way to give it to you guys. So anyhow, we're not doing pumpkin today though. We're doing a Spider Queen. So this is the Daily 5 challenge. If you don't know what it is we have a prompt list every month. There's a lot of stuff happening in October. Every month we have a prompt list. And today the prompt is Spider Queen. So that's what I'm going to paint with you guys. You are invited to paint with me as I paint. and then share your work in the tribe on Discord. So yeah, looking forward to see your Spider Queens. And in the meantime, if you have any questions about whatsoever, digital painting or anything, or just want to chat, these are not meant to be classes. They're more about kind of like chilling sessions where we can have a nice chat and paint something fun together. And talking about fun, I received a bunch of decoration for Halloween, making sure that my son that is turning 1 this year will have his first Halloween. And I'm pretty damn excited. So he has already like 3 costumes. 1 pumpkin, 1 skeleton, a shark, an avocado. It's gonna be a good time. When I was younger, I have a lot of great memories of my Halloweens. So I want to make sure I can pass on some of these cool memories to him. So that's what I'll do. And thank you, DJ. Yeah, it's been a year of learning how to be a dad. It was challenging and rewarding at the same time. But overall, more rewarding than anything else. It was a good year. It was a good year. Alright. Trying to paint the base here. Like I was saying, I'm having this it's kind of a paint over that I did over the reference picture to kind of get me started. And I'm gonna keep things loose and probably have something a little bit more loose to get started. I might actually remove my paint over for now and just kind of look at the reference. I love to keep things in shape these days. It helps me to slowly just kind of move away from the reference, because the idea is really just kind of develop your own style slowly. I think for that, shape design is super important. So I keep things loose. I don't try to be perfect. Cut pieces, bring pieces closer. Yeah, just taking my time. Yeah. If you are listening, let me know if you'll do anything interesting for Halloween. Are you going to a party? Do you have kids? Will you do trick or treat? I live in Thailand now, and there's not. I don't think there's going to be a lot of trick or treating in my neighborhood. The vast majority of people, I don't think, even know what Halloween is really. But it doesn't stop me from having a pumpkin at home. And I might even try to like give candy to the neighborhood. There's like a few kids in here, but I don't even know they're gonna go out from their places with the costume or anything. I'm just gonna take the chance, put a costume on my son, and maybe 1 or 2 kids might show up, and that could be cool. I was talking with my wife, and I'm hoping that maybe at some point I'll be able to just have like a visit back to either Montreal or someplace else in Canada or the States for my kid to experience the neighborhoods and the houses that just get all the decorations and stuff. I just remember going to like haunted houses as a kid and seeing the neighborhood, like the streets completely change. And with the leaves and everything, like that change and everything, it's kind of magical. It certainly marked my my memory. What program am I using? I'm using Photoshop. Yeah, I'm using Photoshop. I keep saying that every week. I'm almost apologizing for using it because I'm not happy with the turn of events, the gold rush of AI with all these companies, and Adobe being one of them. Unfortunately, they have no problem just taking your art to help their machine learning with AI, but it's still my favorite software for now. So I keep with it. Maybe one day I'll switch to something like Clip Studio Paint, because I feel like I hear a lot of good stuff about Clip Studio Paint. I don't know if there's having a subscription now, but I know back in the days it was a one-off payment. You would own essentially your version of it all, and that's also kind of appealing. I know a lot of people don't want to join Photoshop because of that. Just move that. I'm missing the chat completely. 5 in between. You say, wait. Don't apologize. You aren't using AI. I was just genuinely curious. Yeah, no. Well, I'm not really apologizing. The debate is hot right now between what's happening, and I'm getting tired of talking about AI because it's not a subject that I want to spend more attention to, but it is what it is. It's going to disrupt the market for a little while, and we're all going to feel the consequences of it all. We don't have to talk about it every year or every week. No, my doubt is there's scope for 2D artists due to AI. Yeah, I mean, it's like every new changes in technology. Like there's a period where people they just don't know. There's a period where there serves a certain people. Like there's a lot of people making a lot of money with AI right now, and unfortunately, what's created is not always ethical. And for lack of a better word, a lot of it is shit. And I'm not talking about like illustration. Obviously, everything that's come from art, AI art generated is, for lack of a better word, shit. It's a lot of copy infringement, unfortunately. But there's a lot of just businesses, like just bad businesses getting like created with AI, Chat GPT and whatnot. But there's going to be also a lot of good things down the line. It's going to be very useful to everyone, I'm sure. You know, it's like all these kind of big changes about internet and whatnot. At some point it uses us, but right now we see a lot of the two worlds, a lot of ugly and a lot of great technology rising up. So yeah, so that's my thinking about it. All right, I'm going to try to get inspired by these. So, like I said, I did a paint over on top of this to kind of help me as a reference. Trying to get to a more conceptual piece this week. So when you participate into the Daily 5 challenge, you take the prompt. There's multiple ways you can, you know, participate. You can use just a reference picture, like I do a lot of weeks. I just take a reference picture and I do a photo study of it. Or you can kind of push the envelope and try to come up with something a little bit more conceptual, like I'll try to do today. Thank you, 5 in between. Yeah, sketches slowly getting shape. We'll see where it goes. I'm having a lot more like fun usually after the sketch is done. I don't know for you guys, but my fun really begins when I start rendering. Before that, I think it's probably like, it's not fun. I mean, it's easier, I think, for me to render than for sketching. And I think that the reason for that is that when you are sketching, essentially what you're doing is problem solving. You know, you're like, you're trying to figure it out. If you're working for a client, you're trying to, like, you know, give them whatever they ask for. If you're working for yourself, you're trying to build an image, build a concept of some sort. And so the sketching phase for me, it's always where you have like your doubts and you're trying to push the envelope, make something interesting. And I want to have this one with like some spider webs to make sure that it looks like the Spider Queen or whatnot. But I want to keep it like kind of loose. Like I'll have some sort of like spider web, and the hair is going to be kind of put together and mix with the spider web and whatnot. At least that's the idea that I have. We'll see how it turns out. And some big bushy eyebrows, just for the fun of it. So yeah, DJ, you were asking what are you listening to? So when it comes to music on lives, I'm going with a company called Epidemic Sounds. They have basically free of rights playlists and songs and music, so that I don't get flagged once I put the replay or sometimes even the live on YouTube. So that's what we're listening to. It's a playlist that I created from songs that are free of rights. Nivkey Loving a guy trying to get his AI art that he won in competition get rejected from getting copyright projected. AI art, there it is. Now let me get back to my stick figure drawing. Alright. Enjoy your stick figure drawing, my friend. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a stick figure drawing, you know? No, I get it. People that wants to, I don't know. They want to create beautiful art. It's just when you're doing AI art, you're not creating anything, really. Like, yeah, if you paint on top of it and you do like some transformation, yeah, you can say that you created something, but you started with the work of someone that got his work stolen in the first place. I think that was always the issue for me. It's not so much the technology, it's the way the technology came into play. Even my art was part of the data that was used for creating Mid-Journey and whatnot. And when users are literally putting your name in their prompt, like, who are you lying to? Like, you're obviously stealing the work of other artists. And it's one thing to like their art and want to have the style, but none of those artists got paid for helping building these giant AI machine learning. And now we're getting the competition from all these people using it. Yeah, DJ, it is trained on other arts. And that's probably what I really don't like about it. Alright, let's try to finish that sketch, huh? So I can start rendering. I'm just not gonna try to push too hard. Sometimes having just enough to get you started without pushing too much your sketch also works. Gives you flexibility down the line. DJ, you're blaming the creator of AI for what's happening. I think I'm passing the blame at this time. Like many people knows, it's here to stay. I think we all need to swallow that pill and move on with our lives. Where my brain goes these days, especially as a professional artist, is like what's the future of art? How does it look for artists? What is the place of AI is going to play in it? And ultimately, do I want to be part of it, you know? I think sometimes we get frustrated and we get stuck in our ways because we have a hard time accepting reality. And the reality is, it's just moping about it is not going to change anything. We just have to decide whether or not we want to be part of this new reality with AI. If there's a place for you as an artist, and the reality is I think there is. Because it's like any new technology, it doesn't erase all the other technologies. And yes, it will change the landscape of how artists are doing business in the present and in the future. Um, but it's not going to eradicate traditional, digital, made by hand art. All it's going to do is open a new category of kind of artists, and ultimately it will just change the way people consume, create. We just have to live with it at this point. That's at the very least, that's my thinking. So yeah, for the people joining me, I'm doing the Spider Queen, which is the prompt of the day for the Daily 5 challenge, which again is this challenge where we paint a new prompt every day to build momentum into our art journey, get better, and ultimately have fun doing it. We have an entire community on Discord called the Tribe, as in Art Tribe, that are participating at the same time. And I always go for checking like a little bit of what you guys are doing in there, and I'm always super happy to see it. Keep on posting. I know I've been a little quiet here. I was on a journey last month. This month I'm still trying to get back into the mood of things. We have so much happening with the pumpkin carving challenge happening next month. And then we have the holiday season coming in. I had to put my head on so many things, but I think next week we'll have a good time together. So again, next week I'll be there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to give the classes. And you can join live, ask questions if you want to, or you'll be able to watch the replays as well. Yeah. Again, on the subject of AI, because there's so much to say. Like my brain goes towards, all right, so now everyone can do art. And if you go to ChatGPT, anyone can do stories. And then you mix those two together and everyone can create their own comic, cartoon, story, whatnot. But it's not just about creating something with no mind. It's about creating something that, that means something to you. And I think the future of art, especially when it comes to like in social media and whatnot, it's going to be about these artists that create vivid stories that mean something to them, and then sharing that with the world. I've been trying to think about what could I create myself, but I'm not quite there yet. I guess I'm kind of doing it today, but what I mean by telling stories is I mean more like creating like original characters and then creating those cool stories. Shroom you're on your midterms. Alright, good luck with that, my man. It's been a long time. I haven't went to school, not officially. I do take classes to sharpen my skills, but man, I remember being at school and having these rush periods. It's always stressful, so good luck to you, and thanks for listening in the background. Appreciate it. to make sense. I'm gonna keep all of this real loose, I think, when I'm gonna do rendering. Like already, I think I have enough detail. I think I need to maybe modify a little bit the face. Right. Let's flip this and try to modify a little bit the anatomy. So when it comes to anatomy, I think the reason why when you flip your face, most of the time the face just doesn't look exactly how it's supposed to. It's perspective. Like in this case, I feel like my perspective of my eyes, which is kind of like that, like that, and the perspective of my mouth, they're just slightly skewed. I feel like I need to rise up my eye a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring that to liquify and see if I can just move a few things. This side needs to kind of be more shaped. You know, depending on where you're looking with your iris would kind of push your eyelid in a certain direction. I think that's one thing that's missing in what I'm doing here. It's pushing a few things around. Will help. And I might have to reshape. Flip that. Hello, Viesna from Mexico. Thanks for joining, Mexico. I'm assuming it's pretty late at this time. I think most of you guys it's pretty late. Actually, let me know if you're listening. Where are you in the world? What time is it? I know for me it's 9:30 a.m. So a good morning to you all. And I think we're pretty close. I'm gonna put the eyes. See, I have this. I'll show you guys. I have this spider here. I want to use the red glowing of these eyes to render it. I'll be pretty happy if I manage to do it. Shumbet, Vietnam. Oh, nice. We are in the same time zone. I actually want to do a trip to Vietnam soon. Living in Thailand, I'm so close. I've been a few times. I went to Hanoi, which was great, but my wife never been, and so we thought that we could do maybe some good time in Vietnam, maybe next month. Not too sure where I'll go, but having a stroller, I don't think I'll go to Hanoi. It was so hard to just cross the street. So many scooters. Also just having your kid making naps when there's a lot of honking over there. So I think I'm gonna go for like a beach destination. Thanks, Foxy. Appreciate it. Los Angeles, 7:30 p.m. That's pretty good. It's a good time. That's a good time to watch this. And yeah, shroom bit. All right. Here's another thing that I try to do right now is I'm trying to not jump into the rendering too fast. Because if you do this and if you haven't like fixed the issues that you need to fix, then you'll have to fix them later on with the rendering. It takes more time. So 8:30 at 9. India, I'm assuming it's 8 in the morning. Trinidad. That's pretty late. Thanks for being there, Shaquina. And it's pretty crazy in Vietnam here. Yeah. Yeah, the crossing the street is kind of crazy. I mean, like the traffic in Thailand is kind of the same, but I just remember crossing the street in Hanoi and I had my eyes almost closed and being like, I gotta trust that nobody's gonna hit me and to go over all around you. It's kind of crazy. Thanks. I'm sure we'll be fine with the next trip, but yeah, it's exciting. Also want to do Japan. We're so close. But yeah. I feel like the forehead should be just a little bit bigger. Flip one side, flip the other side. Placing some anatomy, kind of like landmarks. It's not just anatomy landmarks, it's also like it's like also like shadow and light, because I'll get inspired from the reference. There's something here that bugs me, like this should kind of go like that. A little bit more. All right, let's give it a try. I'm gonna add some color to this. I've been doing a few illustrations for the past few weeks with the red background. Assuming it's because of Halloween. They just kind of fit. And I might actually just reframe this a little. Looks like Bolo Young. I don't know who Bolo Young is. I'm assuming she's some sort of actress and or celebrity. Yeah. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I have like a very pale kind of skin tone. For the character. Now for the D5 challenge, usually what I suggest is for people to start small, spend 5 to 10 minutes on your first prompt, and then as the days are kind of going up, what's happening here? Or as you continue like participating, you can spend more time. Now I'm at the point where I spend a lot more time than I even probably should. But that's okay, because the way we talk about it is spend 5 minutes to get your momentum starting every day, which ultimately will help you in the long run, and then go up to like 20 to 30 minutes to practice some skills, and then when you either fell in love with your art or your painting. What is happening here? Oh, I painted on the wrong layer. Yeah, when you fall in love with your painting, then spend more time on it. Which for these live sessions, for me, it makes sense to continue so I can spend more time with you guys. Also because I like it. Alright. I'm going to use the hue and saturation and just try to kind of get the base tone that I want, which I think is more towards the cream. And there's like a mix in her hair. It's like almost like greenish. I'm not too sure why. Let's see. Yes, now you see I'm still very slow at drawing. That's okay. Speed doesn't have to be a thing. I'm still very slow at considering everything that I'm doing. I think the way it works is that no matter where you are in the level of your art, we're always going to feel like we're either a little bit slow or we could be better. So I think that's just part of the journey. Having to learn how to deal with our own expectation of what we do and just kind of enjoying the process and the journey. Sunny, I can't draw right now. That's okay. You can just watch the show then. Am I the only one that can't hear? The sound is okay. Oh, Sunny, you cannot hear. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys, if you're listening to me, let me know if you hear me well, see me well. I usually start the show with this, but I took for granted today that everybody was able to listen. Let me know if it's not the case. Just gonna remove this for now. Shaquina sounds is good. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. Before I go into like crazy mode here, I'm just going to try to place the shadow, the base shadows. Just kind of like that. I like to paint this way sometimes, where it's like I don't follow necessarily the same workflow that I usually use. I kind of go looser. Like right now I'm just painting colors. Wherever I see a color, I'm like just kind of painting it. Sometimes it creates something interesting, and sometimes it's the opposite. It's going to make me lose a bunch of time, but we'll see where this one goes. I see all these like... Alright, awesome. I'm glad you can hear Sunny. I see all these artists, they have like these like very like... Or the artists I'm following these days, they have this very like loose way to paint colors where they don't spend too much time being perfect, and it creates these just beautiful kind of loose sketches. And I don't think I haven't quite figured out how to do it, but I feel like these kind of sessions that I'm kind of doing like right now kind of help in the long run. Where it's like you're taking the risk of like messing up a little bit, and then have to figure it out a way to come back. So yeah, trying to just get that right now. I'm gonna add this darker how do you call that? This thing princesses kind of wear on their heads. Help me name this, please. I know there's a word for it. I just don't remember it. It's a diadem? No. I feel like perspective on this is not perfect. Empire. Tiara, that's what I was looking for. Yes, thank you. Tiara, that's what it is. Or is it that? I'm not even sure. That's what I thought it was. What's a Dempire? I'm not sure, Sunny. Alright, I'm going to try to do the eyes. So for the eyes, I want to do like I want to do spidery red eyes that are very glossy. Half elf, half vampire. Oh, I see. No, I was talking about what she has on her head, but yeah, I guess so. She's a half elf, half vampire, but it's just she's a spider queen. So, wouldn't it be easier to use a lasso tool? Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's easier to use a lasso tool. I don't know why. I'm kind of the person that I want to practice the way I don't know, the way I do strokes and stuff. So sometimes I use a lasso tool, and sometimes I just paint it manually. There's not really a good explanation for why I'm doing it, but yeah. I want to have her lipstick kind of darkish. My 8-year-old son is interested in drawing. Best advice I can give him. For an 8-year-old, best advice you can give him. I mean, the question being very general here. I would love to be able to answer you one tip that fits it all, like the rings, you know, one rules them all or something. I'm geeky there. But I don't feel like there's only one tip here. I think if you are passionate about drawing, especially with the versatility of digital medium, best tip I can give you is, if you're starting, the first thing you should do is learn your software. If you learn your software, you know how to use it. And what I mean by this is, you know, learn about your brushes, learn about your erasers, about what you can do with your software. Start there, and then as you get better, especially at the beginning, I feel like we have like that tendency as young artists to just go with the flow and don't follow like predefined curriculum. But I would say go towards classes. There's so many great classes already online. The Paintable YouTube has a bunch of them for beginners, so that would help. I'd say, yeah, like I think we have this romanticized way to try to do it all ourselves sometimes, but having someone to show you the guidelines at the very beginning is going to cut you months, if not years, of back and forth. So that's the best advice I can give you right now. And tell him congratulations. Good night from Brazil. Anderson, I don't know if you're saying good night because you're going or you just arrived, but either way, good night to you. And Shumbit, I think the best advice for kid is that just have fun and try to improve every time. Yeah, having fun is a huge part of it. It will help with also not feel anxiety as you trying to get better and all the time. So yeah, no, that's good advice as well. All right. So we're already an hour in, and I want to make sure I don't spend too much time on this one, so I'm going to try to speed things up. We'll see if I'm able to. Right now, what I'm trying to do is just to place the where am I? Oh. Let's place the right values, right colors to kind of give me just like a base. I'm probably gonna come back and then fix a little bit the details. I'm gonna keep it loose for the most part. Good night from Canada, Sunny. All right, good night, my friend. And you're welcome, the Michaela Java. You'll catch another live another time. Yeah, I'm coming live usually every Wednesday, same time. So looking forward to see you again, Sunny. The desire to always create something perfect might be a little drawback for your 8 years old. So as much as possible, encourage them to use confidence in his work. Yeah, it's good advice as well. I think the having fun part of things is just so important. Because if you have fun, then the hard times will be just easier, and everything that you learn for the first time, there's at least a few hard times. So there's that. I don't know who was talking about the lasso tool earlier, but here you go. Using it now a little bit, catching those hard edges correctly. I keep all of this real loose, but I will definitely come back in a minute to create hard and soft edges at the right places. I'm going to add just a little bit of light and shadow in the hair parts and whatnot. I haven't touched the background yet, but I would like to have, I have my paint over that I did on this as a sketch to help me. And I was thinking of just having these kind of like loose. But I wanted to kind of almost feel like it's part of her hair, you know? We'll see. I do have some custom brushes, Timmy. The one that I'm using right now, though, is a little bit of the normal brushes that you can find on pretty much any software. It's the hard edge brush that's rounded. But in the pack that I'm using for the Daily 5, you can get it. Usually if you comment in one of my posts, D5, any post on Instagram, it will send you a link automatically so that you can get my brushes. They are free, so enjoy. And at the same time, when you get one of my brushes, you are automatically added to my newsletter list, which I only send goodies, invitation to challenges, and some more free downloads and stuff. So it's a good one to be on if you want to try it out. All right. I think that's good of a base for me. I'm going to start painting on top of my lines and try to add some more details, starting with the eyes, because once the eyes are looking good, it makes the entire illustration better. And for this one, I also wanted to look at, whoopsie, this reference. Where is it? This reference right there. I'm gonna flip it because my light source is on the other side. But it's like a mix of like reflective light, I might make it smaller actually. You're welcome, Timmy. Hey, thank you, Gabrielle. Appreciate the love. So yeah, trying to add the right reflections in the eyes. I'm not the best at reflection, but you know, you can follow like just a few rules to help you. Like you're looking at the light that's surrounding the eye, and because it's glossy, it's going to reflect pretty much everything that's around it. In this case, I feel like it's going to reflect like the skin here, that is very bright. So basically this light bounces back and this and creates this little reflection there. Or at least that's how I imagine it. Now that I have an eye, I'm just going to go back to my kind of paint over, and I'm going to use the smudge tool here, and I'm going to smudge a good part. I wanted to do the fat eyebrows here. There was something interesting I felt with kind of like I don't know if I want to keep it at the end. We'll see. I like this way to work. It's a technique that at first I was following someone on Skillshare. Her name is Gabrielle. She's kind of a big artist, so maybe some of you guys know her. And her technique was essentially a lot of that. She would paint and then smudge and then paint some more to add some details. And when I tried it, I thought that's a fun way to just kind of paint without having to stress too much about your brush stroke and your lines. You can go like looser, faster, and for as long as you're adding like the right hard edges at the right places, by the end of it, it's gonna look okay. Just gonna zoom back here a little bit. And trying to create these hard edges and soft edges, yes, at the right places. Like this, and then you keep some of the edges a little bit more loose, and it looks good. And I'm having a really like a fun time these days to just experiment a little bit more with shapes and stuff. Pushing the envelope. Like, who was that? It was the I forgot his name. Another artist. I was giving like a tip, and I thought it was a really good tip. What he was saying is, if you want to be creative, sometimes you have to kind of stay away from things like the Loomis method and these kind of like very rigid construction method for portraits and stuff, because creativity doesn't come from structure necessarily, but from experimentation. That's kind of like how I feel I'm doing these days. I'm just kind of experiment a little bit more, having some fun with kind of a mix of graphic and more rendered. Like one of the first illustrations that I did years ago, like 10 years ago, it's kind of a mix of like graphic design with illustration. And recently, I'm sorry, I forgot all the names of the artists that I'm trying to talk about. I'll make sure to have notes next time. But one of the artists that I found recently was doing that, and it kind of like bring back the love that I have for this style, which maybe you guys don't know yet, but I was a graphic designer for 10 years before doing illustration. And there's definitely a huge part of me that likes this kind of like more graphic style of doing illustration, where you keep things a little bit more loose, a little bit more sketchy, and like, for example, the artist that I'm trying to refer to was doing like photo bashing, but with like, I don't know, like stickers of like companies and logos, and incorporating in that into like a very graphic style of illustration. And I thought it's just beautiful, and I'd love to maybe find my own style and yeah, get back to the roots of what started my journey as an illustrator. If that makes sense. But if you're listening, let me know what is the thing that for you brought you into the world of illustration. Is it to do something more graphic, or concept art for like video and games? Because I think there's a lot of people that, yeah, it's to be able to create those characters and worlds from their favorite games or movies, which I definitely feel a little bit like this. But for the most part, I just love the graphic design of elements. Like I always loved like artists like Lion Decker, for example, that had found a way to create very stylized yet semi-realistic way to paint. I always thought that's something that I would like to have my art get to at some point. Trying to push just a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do for the I already forgot the name of this. The crown thingy. Might just add some few few quick details on it. Trying to get her lips a little bit more defined, and probably that. All right. So again, for those of you guys that would participate in the pumpkin carving challenge that starts on Monday, you'll be able to post your work in the tribe every day for a chance to win one of the 6 Huion tablets that Huion give us to sponsor the event. And all you have to do is really just share your work. You don't have to be the best. And I make sure to that for pretty much every challenge that I create. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want as many people as possible to have fun with the event and participate. So it takes out the stress of having to compete. All you have to do is do your best, participate, have fun. And just by posting your work, you'll get a chance to win one of those tablets, which, by the way, I'm using one of those tablets. I'm having a Canvas 24 4K Pro, I think it's called. And it's an amazing tablet. It changed the way I paint. I used to have a small tablets on the side of my computer, and since I switch to that big one, there is no coming back for me. I'll be painting with a big tablet for the rest of my life. I think it's making the entire experience of painting just that much more fun. And it's not the size of the tablet necessarily. Like, this one is definitely a big one, but I feel like just being able to paint on a screen tablet helps a lot. With that being said, I'm also a huge believer that you don't need the best tablet to get started or even just to do art. I, for years, used a semi-professional tablet, one of those ones that you have on the side of your computer, and I was doing just fine with it. So if you were to get started today, just know that any tablet will get you there. You really don't have to stress about it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll have the time to finish this one today. I might finish it after the live. And I'll make sure to post the result in the tribe on Discord. It's one of those great things also about the D5 challenge is it's all about just kind of making sure you paint a little bit every day. When I was starting doing illustration in the beginning of my career, I would always want to like spend as many hours as needed to finish the piece, when sometimes I love to live by the sentence finishes better than perfect. I don't feel like every illustration that you do is worth necessarily like always pursuing to the end. Sometimes you have learned what you needed to learn from it, and spending more time on it would be just a waste of time. So if you're one of those artists that just struggle to find time to draw, and you can spend weeks upon weeks not painting because you don't find the time, just know that sometimes all you have to do is a quick sketch, having some fun with it. It doesn't have to be done, finished, or perfect. Flip one side, flip the other side. Khaled. Hello from Venezuela. Thanks for joining. Must be late in Venezuela. Thanks for being there with me. And for all of you guys on Instagram, coming and going, don't be shy. You can definitely say hi. I feel like she's not very spider queeny right now, unfortunately. You're absolutely welcome, Praja, and thanks, Sky. Amazing work, unorthodox. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Not sure what I wanted to do with the hair. I think my vision for this painting was not clear enough. I thought I would mix like a spider web. And I think it's a lesson I can share with everyone because I do that way too often and I know the solution to it. And the solution to it is to always do when you're like having like a concept like this is to not try your idea on the final piece or the piece that you're painting, but have like a study practice before. So what I could have done before that is to try to see like how I can mix that, the idea of having the hair becoming the spider web slowly, Because I don't know how I'm going to do it still. Like I want to see like if I can like move it to like the spider web like this in some sort, in some way. And yes, I'm using Photoshop. Thank you, Shrimbit. I just wanted to see if we can. And the reason it's good to have a study before is that I would feel a lot more confident in my strokes right now and in the way that I'd approach the spider texture of the hair if I had done just a quick study before. So yeah, hopefully that lesson serves you well, guys. But I like the way I approach also the that texture of like just being like more loose. I think that comes to the idea that I was talking earlier, that I want to start slowly in my paintings adopting a way of like having more like a graphic style, brushy style, which that's another thing I could have done here. I've been using the same brush here, but I could also have some fun with like just adding a little bit more of that, some of the textures and playing with those, being experimental and ultimately trying to see where it brings me. And to come back into that AI talk we're having, like I think that's what will separate artists, having distinguished style. That, you know, now artists needs to push the envelope because AI is able to replicate everything that's already there, but creating new style, that's up to everyone now. It's up to the artists. So I think keeping a place to be loose, experimental, until you find that new direction where you want your art to be. I think that's going to be super important in the near future, or today, really. It's also fun to just kind of just develop your own graphic style, I feel like. Sometimes we get just stuck into trying to replicate our favorite artists, and we forget that to keep space for experimenting, really. Thank you, Lynn Art, saying that looks dope. I think I'm getting to a place where I like it more now. It's interesting. I like the way the hair becomes the web. Nice. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been struggling with, but I'm glad you're seeing it. That's what I'm trying to do. To have that that hair becoming the web. I feel like I'm going to, at this point, create a top layer with everything and bring it to liquefy. And I'm gonna try to just smudge a few things. I feel like the teeth are not at the right place. Let's bring that where they should be. Move little parts of the nose. See if I can move the eyes slightly and just create a better look for it. I feel like the teeth needs to be darker. They're just too pale right now. I might try to reshape the face a little. I love liquefy, seriously. You know? Especially if like you're doing something where you're not quite sure where you're going to end up with, like I'm doing right now. Having liquefy is like being a sculpture where you have like that base, clay base, like manageable matter that you're able to just move. I think that's more where I want to be with it. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Well, damn it, says Michuno. Live stream, I need to go to bed for work tomorrow. Anyway, love your work. Thanks. Thank you so much for helping. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Minuto, if you have the time, during next week for the pumpkin carving challenge, I'll try to give as much tips live as I can. You'll be able to catch up the replay also for those, but I'll appreciate everyone coming and joining me live. So yeah, just letting you know. Let's move this. I'm gonna flip it. Kind of holds. That's pretty good. I feel like the nose needs a little touch of love though. So let's move that just a bit. I want to say hi to stranger Subash. Hello from India. Hello from Thailand. And you're welcome, Minuto. Have a good one. Good night. Sorry for the people on YouTube. I've been ignoring you. It was quiet for a while. Now I see you, Jeffrey. Still looking good. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, of course I made a mood board. It's right here. It's just I'm looking at one. I got a bunch of like illustration and pictures and whatnot, and what I did is, for the people on Instagram that don't see it, what I did is I did a quick paint over that picture, and I used that as my reference picture for this illustration. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I need to fix the mouth because I don't like it. Let's fix the mouth. And I'm going to try to keep the live 2-hour max, which means that we have another 30 minutes together, guys. And I'll try to push this illustration as much as I can within that time frame. put the multiply. So yeah. I feel like this needs to be darker. But even darker than this maybe. Like it needs to feel like it's kind of turning away from the light maybe. And maybe I can add maybe a little bright light there. Nah, not really needed. Anderson, amazing idea, like it. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, it's getting it to a place where I like it too. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but it's getting there. I feel like I would like for the spider web to just feel a little bit more present. And the tiara, it's not what I want. If I had more time, I'd probably try some different shapes to it and whatnot, but I don't think I'll have the time. Some sort of spiky shapes. Goodbye, Viesna. Good night to you. Thank you, Brush Homnia. I know for a lot of you guys that are in the States, it's getting late, so I appreciate that you guys are sticking around. Let's try to push this just a little bit more into that spider web idea. Brushomania, would you please tell us how do you remain that much patient? Wow, that's a good question. You know, if you were asking around me, I don't think people would describe me as patient. A lot of things, but not patient for sure. So I appreciate that you perceive that. I guess sometimes I am patient, sometimes I'm not. But when it comes to the painting, I guess. You know what? When it comes to the DD5, I think it's exactly why I created the challenge. Because yes, if you spend, you know, tens of hours on one illustration, it takes you so much time. It takes you maybe like days, weeks, maybe even months, right? And then it's not going to something that you like at the end and you feel deflated. And then, of course, the next time that you're starting it, you have this in your head and you're thinking, oh, I want to spend another like month working on an illustration that I don't like, and then you give up. But if you're participating into the challenge, the 85 challenge, what you can do is for the first few prompts that you'll participate in, spend just 5-10 minutes on it, okay? And what will that do is that it will give you those quick wins and give you confidence that you're able to sometimes fix an illustration real quick. And so when you get to a painting like this one, for example, where you're like, I'm going somewhere, but I'm not too sure I'm gonna get there, and so I stay patient a little bit more because I have this backlog of moments in my life where I already know that if I spend just a little bit more time, I'm probably going to either fix the illustration or find a way to transform it into something that I enjoy a little bit more, right? And it's the case for this one today, because if you had asked me an hour ago if I liked it, I don't think I did. But now I persevered, and yeah, I'm at a place that I like it now. Zone K, love your work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it, guys. You know, you can say everything that you want, but artists, we do thrive on feedback, positive and you know, good critics, not necessarily the negative ones. So it's always nice to feel the appreciation. Thank you. Yeah, that looks okay. I'm not gonna say that painting Halloween and scary things is my favorite subject in the world, but once a year during the holiday of Halloween, I enjoy it. Do you speak French? Oui, je parle français. Français, c'est ma langue première en fait. And for the people not speaking French, I just said that yes, I do speak French. It's my first language. I'm a French Canadian. I was born and raised in Montreal. So that's the thick, weird accent that you hear. Because I don't have a French from France accent. I have a Quebecois accent, which is definitely different. So yeah, I do speak French. I'm actually speaking French with my son, which will be turning 1 soon. I speak in French and only in French to him. My wife, being Colombian, speaks only Spanish, and our goal is that by the time he's older, he will have both languages. So that's the idea behind that. Yeah, I see Xonke. Yeah. I'm speaking English because I want to also reach as many people so I can help as many people as possible. That's the reason why trying to get also like inspired of what's the shape of a spider web. And just keep things a little bit more graphic. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy with this one today. Turned out much better than I thought it would when I started it. So that's pretty good. I might try to add a little reflection on the lip, fix a shadow or two, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm pretty happy with this one. Yeah. Well, this was a fun one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back live, like I was saying, on Monday. This time to paint a pumpkin with you guys. And at the same time, give you my best tips, tricks that will go and help you to paint way beyond pumpkins. We're talking sketching tips, rendering tips, lighting, coloring. And you'll have the chance to win amazing prizes. Huion being the sponsor of the event, we have some amazing tablets. One of them being exactly the tablet that I'm using right now. So professional tablets, and you don't have to be the best to win. Simply participate as a community member. And also we'll have an amazing deal called the Spooky Deal that we're doing only once a year for the Digital Paint Academy. We'll be giving 30% off. Actually, for you guys that are listening right now, you get to have the exclusivity to know before, but the deal is already there. We just haven't announced it yet. If you want to go on the Digital Painting Academy website, you'll be able to see the 30% already applied, and it's a 30% that stays there for life, meaning that for as long as you stay in the DPA, you'll keep month after month the 30. And if you take the annual membership, which I would definitely recommend because you'll save a lot more, you also get to save the same amount every year. This is only the deal for the people who are interested to join. You don't have to join if you want to participate in the challenge or win. That's just something that I like to give once a year. For those of you guys that really wants to keep learning with me, the DPA is where I put all my best classes. I spend some times with you guys in the private community that the DPA has. And yeah, I have over 300 videos in there. I have a learning path designed to help you get your skills up to a professional level. I also added last year a place where I show you how to build illustration based on client briefs to help you for those that want to work with clients. There's just so much stuff in there, it's amazing. And each time that you join, you have the first time that you join, you have a 30-day money back guarantee, which means that you really have nothing to lose. You can go in there, try it all, see if you like it, and if you do, then you'll get that 30% off, which is great. And if you don't, then you'll get your money back, no questions asked. So that's the idea. Antónimo, me fui un rato y ahora está todo genial. Muchas gracias. Sir, I tried to download the carving kit and I'm not able to go in. I am getting an error. That's not the kind of document. If you have an error, sorry for that, Arshini. Please email me at hello@paintable.cc. I'm going to put it in the chat. hello@paintable.cc. hello@paintable.cc. Yes. Email me there, and this will go directly to Ray, which is our person in charge of student happiness. Her title is, and she will help you with this. Sorry for you. Sorry that you have a problem with it. And I see Lawrence that you subscribe to YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna call this one done. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, there's a few things. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep pushing it a little bit more. feel like I can just modify the jaw a little bit just to have it just a little bit better here. I could maybe add just a little bit more detail in the ear. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a little bit. Let's push that here, like this. Which software do you use? I am using Photoshop, indeed. Thank you, Anderson. Using Photoshop. Maybe one day I'll switch to Clip Studio Paint though, like I was saying earlier. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned. I'm gonna call it finish is better than perfect. Let's flip it one more time. Yeah, that's okay. I think the concept is fun. Maybe that's something I'll be able to revisit the concept again every year and see how I progress. I do that with my self-portrait. I try to do one every year to see how I progress as an artist. Maybe I'll be able to do this one as well, because I think it's a cool concept. Spider Queen. Spider Queen. I usually like to finish my illustration with a quick signature with the year. Roop. Bam. I think I'm gonna put it in the bottom corner, and maybe put it to black or red. Let's see. Yeah, I think red sounds good. And here you have it, guys. My Spider Queen. Hope you like it. Good night, Anderson. Have a good night. Take that beauty sleep. See you next time. Thank you so much, guys, for all of you that stayed with me that are in the state. I know it's really late for you, and for everybody else in the world as well. Thank you so much. I'll be back next week. Next week, I'll be giving you live feedback on your homework. We already sent an email for that. You should have received it if you're on the newsletter list. If you haven't, or if you're not on the newsletter list, you can join the tribe. In there, I posted today, sorry for the late post, about the homework. Basically, what you have to do is to colorize your grayscale monster that you did last week, and I'll take the work that you post in the tribe and come back at you with some feedback live next Wednesday. So yeah, have a good night, good day, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I'll see you next, guys, on Monday for the first class of the Pumpkin Carving Challenge. That starts on Monday. If you haven't registered, be sure to do it before. So much stuff happening in October. Super excited. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.